What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
It's time!
Didn't even say a word yet and already struggle streaming. Here we go. Hopefully it's not going to be that type of night tonight, but we are here. We're back in the house for another night of software explorations. If you do not know who I am your host, the one, the only Tech Coach Ralph, where we are certainly engineered to win. All right. So I need to find a place to put this thing. I have way too much stuff going on over here. Oh, I gotta get some type of system here. Can't even find my controller. It's all crazy. So much going on. Let's see what we can do real quick. Moving some stuff around. Oh, there goes that. All right, let's do it like that. Let's move this over here. And let's move this one. Let's try that. All right, let's try that. All right, cool. All right, we are here. We are ready to rock and roll. All right. And as much as I love the background, it was a long, long day. All right. So we're going to fade the background in and out, and we're going to have some fun tonight like we always do on our software explorations. But before we go any further, let's get into our agenda like we always do, all right? Let's get into our agenda. So I need to find one more thing before we go. All right, let's do that. All right, so in our agenda for tonight, first and foremost, like we always do, I want to say thank you so much to all of the newest subscribers, as well as the subscribers who's been here for a while, supporting me, getting all this amazing information.
I appreciate you.
You guys are absolutely amazing.
We the best.
Yes, we are. We are the best. We are the tech barbarians and the tech mercenaries. All right. So let's do it. Let's do it. All right. And of course, I always have to give a good shout out, a big salute to my tech barbarians, to my Tech Prodigy Plus, and my Tech Explorers, all of my Patreon members who put in the work day in and day out. Very, very proud of you all.
They ain't believe in us.
But I certainly believe in you. All right. So let's move on. All right. So here, let's get into our show schedule. Right. Let's get into our show schedule. So what is the live show? Let's get into live show. Right. So we have the morning show, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Coffee and Kata. But Fridays might be changing a little bit because might have a change of schedule. Still gonna plan to go live on Friday. You just gotta figure out the time in the morning. But I'll keep you posted as we find out more information. Sunday afternoons, we have software explorations. We're going through Terraform, right? Terraform, infrastructure as code. You've seen us the past few weeks, like slowly, progressively build out our infrastructure for the application my tech barbarians are building, right? So infrastructure is code. It's part of automation. It's the future of automation. Not necessarily 100% QA related, but if you are into automation, then you got to expand. You have to keep moving forward. You have to expand. All right. Tuesday nights Q&A sessions. So I'm going to announce it now. Next Tuesday night, Socks and I plan to go live for cybersecurity Q&A. It's that time of the month where we talk about cybersecurity, and we will be talking about Socks University, which we have on schedule, on track to launch March 1st. All right, Friday, March 1st. So come find out a little bit more about Socks University. It is currently going through beta testing with all of our amazing beta testers. So we will keep you posted, but definitely tune in for next week, Tuesday, cybersecurity night. All right, Thursday nights, tonight, we have software explorations. We are going to continue going through the Free Mind Recovery site, and we're exploring Selenium, Playwright, and Cypress. All right, that's what we've been doing the past few weeks. That's what we're going to continue doing tonight. Okay, so, and as far as the morning, right? Remember, I don't know, for those who don't know, we pivoted a little bit in the morning to do a different type of challenge, right? So I am learning Flutter, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more as we get into the show, right? I'm learning Flutter to build mobile apps, which it builds mobile like app in one application, one code base. You can build your iOS app, you can build your Android app, you can build your web app, all together, right? So we're using Flutter, learning Dart, and I have some thoughts about it so far, right? So we will get into it a little bit more as we get into the show, but just wanted to let you know that's what we're doing in the morning. If you are interested in mobile application design, then definitely tune in to the morning shows at 7:15 a.m. All right. So shout out to the live show schedule. Now, let's get into our pre-recorded content. All right. So we have Mondays, my favorite show, Candid Conversations. I'm even thinking about, right? I'm thinking about also making it like a podcast. So because you don't need like the video to like, I'm still gonna have the video on YouTube, right? But you don't need the video to listen to the Candid Conversation. So I might just also make it a podcast, right? So I'll see. I have to look into that a little bit more, but that's the plan, all right? And then we have Wednesday, Software Explorations, Concepts and Overviews. This past Wednesday, we wrapped up going like our comparison of Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright. That was really fun. And then we have Fridays, the Bug Bite. Tomorrow we're going to be reviewing an article about, is Tesla going to have a massive recall on a lot of its vehicles? We shall see. All right. And then throughout the week, we release shorts and our Q&A clips. So it's something for everyone, just trying to help you guys out there, build that motivation, build that encouragement, build that discipline, build that technical knowledge, all of that to help you level up and get to the next step. All right. So that is our pre-recorded. One more time through the pre-recorded, right? Mondays, Candid Conversations. Wednesday, Software Explorations, Concepts and Overviews. And Fridays, the Bug Bite. And then we have shorts and clips from the Q&A show throughout the week. So definitely tune in for that, all right? So next up on the docket, right? So go ahead and, like I always, I have to mention this, right? Because if I don't, I feel like I'd be doing you a disservice. Go and check out the Chaos Camp GitHub, where you can get real challenges, right? Where it puts yourself in like a real situation, whether as a developer or as a QA engineer or something, right? That you have to figure out how to either automate it, figure out the issue, whatever the case may be, right? So really good challenges. I've done a bunch of them. Really enjoy it. My friend Don puts them together, and he does an amazing job, all right? So and we might be getting Don to come back on the channel very, very soon. So I'm looking forward for that. Always a pleasure to talk to Don. All right. So definitely check that out. Let me drop that in the chat. All right. So GitHub Chaos Camp. Let's drop that in the chat. So there you go. Boom. Check out the Chaos Camp GitHub. It will do you wonders. All right. Trust me. It'll do you wonders. Okay. So let's go to the next thing. All right. So the next thing, this will be circulating in the chat, but I will share this with you now. Let me see if I can find the link. Let me find the link. But Grammar Hub. So my friends over at Grammar Hub, they do an amazing job at helping you learn, practice, like improve your resume, mock interviews, the stuff that I dedicate to my tech barbarians and my tech prodigy members. They like, you can do it in the community. They have meetings every single Monday, and like they have scheduled meetings on Mondays, right? And each week is a different topic, and they just loop it, right? So it's definitely something that you should definitely look into, and it'll definitely help you a lot, right? So let me get the link for it, right? It'll definitely circulate in the chat, but I want to just drop the link to the Discord so that you can join my friends over at Grammar Hub, and you can, let me drop that in there right now. And you can join a group of people who have your best interest in mind, who want you to grow. All right. So I really like being part of that group. This past Monday, I did a presentation to the group where I was sharing about what QA engineering is and what QA engineers do. It was a very brief introduction because QA is massive, but presenting to the group so they can have a better understanding. And through that, I was talking about unit tests and things like that. And the members of the group said, hey, it would be really cool if we could do a code along where you show how to do unit tests and stuff like that. Am I the expert on unit tests? No, but I and we'll talk about that too, because I've been trying to get better at doing test-driven development. So, and the thing is, right, to help to share knowledge, you don't have to be an expert, right? You just need to know a little bit more and share that, and then you can learn together, right? So, and that's what I'm always trying to do. I'm just trying to learn enough that I can share what I'm learning with other people. So that is the goal. So definitely go ahead and check out that Discord and join that Discord. You can learn and level up with people who have your same interests, and you can find me in there. And whenever I'm doing a presentation, I would love for you to be part of it and ask me whatever question you may have. All right, it was a great discussion, and I look forward to it. And they do like in-person meetups and stuff like that. A lot of the people in there are from from Florida. A good portion is from South Florida. Some of them are from Tampa. Some from Orlando, some from Jacksonville, right? All over Florida, as well as there's some people from other states as well. But there's a good group in Florida, so definitely recommend you joining that and get the additional help that you need. Help yourself, right? Help us help you. Okay, so go ahead and join and let's get to it. Okay, so let's see what we are talking about now. All right, so let's get into. All right, I'll talk about, okay, so let me do this. Let me just dump this in here real quick. We're going to do, I'll talk about this during the first break. All right, that's the plan. So during the first break, and we'll talk about that, and then maybe second break, we can look on LinkedIn. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get into our Agile Manifesto. Okay. I think last time we left off, we were. What did we do last time in the Agile Manifesto? Working software is a primary measure of progress. That was number. All right. So cool. All right, so number 8. Let's get into number 8. I think we did number 7 last time. Let's get into number 8. All right, so number 8 of the, I'll put it on the screen so we can read it together. All right. And let's go to share screen. All right, number 8 of the eighth principle of the Agile Manifesto, right? Agile processes promote sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain constant pace indefinitely. All right. And, I am going to do a full on, it might even be a series, right? About Agile and why it's important to learn Agile, especially if you're trying to get into the tech industry, like transitioning into tech. I think it's essential that you learn Agile because most software development companies, I'd say probably like 98.7% of software development companies are following the Agile methodology. Maybe they're not following it as well as they should be, right? Maybe they don't have a Scrum Master as awesome as mine, but you do what you got to do. So I am going to do some presentations on it. Maybe in Grammar Hub. I know I'm going to do one to the Bag Chasers, the Anton Daniels Patreon group. And I'm definitely going to do it for my Patreon members as well. And we're going to map out like what it is and what I think is the most important part is while you're transitioning, while you're looking, right? How you should be using the Agile methodology so you can organize yourself. And like, honestly, I use Agile methodology in my daily life, right? So like I have my own, so I have, I think I do like maybe 3 stand-ups a day, one for a family stand-up, a tech barbarian stand-up, and a work stand-up, right? It helps me stay so organized and I get so much done by doing that, all right? So, but the principle, Agile process promotes sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain constant pace indefinitely, right? And that goes along with properly estimating, properly knowing what you can get done and stuff like that. So much, and then like in one sprint you do so much, and then the next sprint like you barely get anything done. You want to be consistent. You want to have a constant pace, right? Like you don't want to like go out of the gates going 100 miles an hour and then you totally run out of gas and you can't finish, right? So you want to have a consistent pace as you go through it, right? So so that's something that like I apply to my life. Although I work like crazy, like in everything that I do, but I'm consistent. I have a routine, and I just make sure that I crush it in everything that I do and accomplish my goals, right? So that's a thought process behind it. Sustainable development, constant growth, constant improvement, right? So and that's what the agile methodology is all about. So so I definitely encourage you to look more into agile, and like even if you're not in tech, right? I think following the agile methodology is a winning way to go, even if you're doing it by yourself. But you have to keep yourself accountable and stuff like that, right? So that's what I would say to that one. Definitely looking forward to doing those presentations. I'm even going to do it for my family as well, give them a better understanding of agile and how to structure it, so that you can win, right? Like engineer to win. That's what I am all about. That's what I love talking about. That's what I love strategizing on. All right. Okay, cool. So before we get into the show, I have, okay, I know what I'll do. So that one, second break. So first break, we're going to talk about that. Second break, we're going to talk about Flutter. And yeah. So, and then, okay, so there you go. So we'll talk about Flutter later on in the show, right? So here we are. What I want to do, there's one more thing I want to do, right? One of my tech barbarians wrote an article. Let me go to full screen real quick. About networking, right? Wrote an article about networking, and I wanted to read it together because it is I was skimming through it and I was like, you know what, I like this. Let's read it together and let's find out because you know how I am about networking, but it's a specific type of networking, right? But if it's the right type of networking, if you can build like true connections and stuff like that, then I think that, and it's based on the value that you bring to each other and not just trying to get something out of it, then I think that is going to be some valuable networking insight and stuff like that. All right. So let's read this article by my amazing tech barbarian, Bridget. All right. And you've seen her in the chat a few times, right? When she is taking a break, when she's not grinding, she hits us up sometime and blesses us with her presence. Okay. So let's read this. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right. So this is part one. This is part one, and then maybe next week we can read part two. But my good friend Bridget says it's not what you know, it's who you know. All right. So are you someone who is looking to advance your career? Whether you are a career switcher, a college student, or just someone who wants to learn more and do more, networking is going to give you the most opportunities. Unfortunately, for many people, it can also cause the most stress. She must be talking about me. She wrote this like 2 years before we met, but I'm pretty sure she's talking about me because networking causes me stress. All right. How do you meet people who work at the companies you want to work for? How do you become more successful like your role models? I created this multi-step guide to help you become more comfortable with networking, especially if you have never done it before. All right. And I'll give you some quick background about my friend Bridget here. She works in QA, but she has a massive background, like she doing UI UX, doing like also being a software developer. So like this is I trust her insight on this because she's seen a lot. All right. So first, a bit about my background. I am an extrovert who was raised by an extrovert. I joke that my mom taught us to talk to strangers, not the creepy ones in kidnapper vans, obviously. My mom was always talking to people in line at the grocery store, at community functions, sitting next to people at school band concerts. We just figured she had a lot of friends and knew everybody. She didn't necessarily know them. She just talked to them. Learning how to talk to strangers helped me immensely when I grew up and worked in marketing and sales. Sometimes I had to scour the internet to find my own sales leads. Other times I was representing myself as a freelancer or my employer at events. Either way, I had to figure out where to find people and then how to actually connect with them. Networking to switch to a career in tech is much better than networking for sales. I probably agree with that. People are more likely to want to connect with you if you aren't trying to sell them something. People also love to talk about themselves and their careers. That is true. That's why I talk so damn much on YouTube. All right. Keep this in mind when you are reaching out to people who you don't know. And I've told you guys this before, right? Especially to my tech barbarians, like reach out to people who are where you want to be, and tell them that you want to learn from their expertise. Like they're experts in the industry, and that'll put them on cloud nine, and then they'll let you know whatever it is that you're looking to know. All right. So a little bit of advice right there, right? I totally agree with you, Bridget. All right. So finding people. One of the positive things to come out of the pandemic is that people are much more open to virtual networking. This comes with a couple of bonuses. You don't have to leave your house to meet people, and you can meet people from all over the world. And that's a fact because I have people that I'm coaching from Europe, in France, in London, and people I'm talking to like startups who are based in Paris. And all this stuff, right? So, and people, I meet people in California, all over, right? So great, right? So it says, here are some good places I find people in tech to work with. Virtual networking sites, Meetup, so meetup.com, eventbrite.com, Women Who Code, all right? And then there's social media such as LinkedIn, Twitter, and Reddit. I've met a few people off Reddit. I've spoken to one or two people off Twitter, and LinkedIn. I've met plenty of people from LinkedIn. There's Tech Podcast, which I might be turning one of mine to a tech podcast. Who knows, right? Streamers on Twitch and on YouTube. All right. It says also keep your eye out for virtual conferences, especially ones that have breakout networking sessions. This is obviously not an all encompassing list. Please add suggestions if you have any recommendations. Yep. Go and subscribe to the Tech Coach Ralph YouTube channel. All right. And you can even friend me on LinkedIn, right? Even friend me on LinkedIn. All right. So let's continue. It says reaching out. Now that you have found some people through events and social media, how do you make that connection? If you are attending something live, such as a virtual conference or stream, and the host asks, where's everyone from? Answer, duh.
Message.
All right. If you are in a tech hub or bigger city, there will probably be quite a few people from your area attending. If you're from a smaller place like Omaha, Nebraska, you can say hi to people from nearby areas such as Kansas City or Iowa. Give your neighbors a shout out in the comments section or DMs. Strike up a little conversation and ask them if they are on LinkedIn so you can connect afterwards and schedule a coffee chat. All right. And then, so here's an example script. Hi, Ron. I see that you're in Kansas City or in KC. Maybe that's how they say it in that area, right? I'm right next door in Omaha. How's the tech scene down there? After you connect on LinkedIn or Twitter or email, you can schedule a follow-up coffee chat. Example script. Hi, April. Nice meeting you at the Mega Tech Live conference. I was wondering if you could tell me more about your career switch to tech. I would love to chat with you sometime next week if you have 15 to 20 minutes. And trust me, they'll give you more than that. All right. They'll give you more than 15 to 20 minutes because us in tech, we love to talk about the technologies, the work that we do. Like, oh my goodness. All right. Pay attention to the speakers at the conferences. The speakers are usually helpful people and they often will give out their links to LinkedIn, Twitter, and GitHub. After the conference, message them. Duh. If you connect with someone via LinkedIn, you can send a message with your connection request. Here's an example script. Hi, Leslie. I watched your session about open source contributions at the Super Tech Virtual Summit. It was great advice. I was wondering if you have 15 to 20 minutes sometime in the next week or two, that we could chat more and you could tell me more about your experiences. All right, that's good. If they don't have DM on Twitter, there's a more public and slightly scarier way to connect, and that's by tweeting at them. You can also retweet quote the conference tweet. They usually exist. Granted, this is not a direct request for a coffee chat. This is part of a long game strategy that we will get to shortly. All right. So far, so good. All right. So far, so good. All right. So let's do this, right? Let's stop right here. Right. And then we're going to continue reading this in our, as we continue in our, like maybe the first break, we'll continue reading this and then I'll push it along. All right. But we got to get to work, right? We got to get to work. But so far, this is awesome. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop the link to this in the chat as well. And then you can check it out for yourself. But this is a great article. All right. So go check out my friend Bridget's article on networking. And then we're going to continue from there. Right. So let's go back to full screen. And we're getting ready to get into our code. Let me put up the Free Mind Recovery website. All right. So before we get into our show, I have a couple of housekeeping announcements. So if you haven't done so yet, right? If you're enjoying yourself, if you're liking what we're doing here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live or drop new content. We drop new content every single day, and it is intended to help you level up. That is the goal, right? And, so just trying to help you and give you all the information that you need so that you can win, so that you can be successful. Next up, we do have memberships available for the channel. If you want to support the channel even more on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, feel free to click the join button and you get some custom emojis, and I'm figuring out more and more stuff. One thing I've been doing is the Q&A clips. I make those available earlier for channel members, and then before it gets scheduled for the general public. All right, so that's one of the things that I'm doing, but I'm going to find out more things, And we're going to make it awesome, right? We're going to make it awesome because we are about winning and having fun and learning, all right? And then lastly, if you need extra help, if you need some exclusive content on how to help you with your resume, see how I do my resume, how I do my LinkedIn, different strategies I use for learning, all of that, or you need one-on-one coaching, go ahead over to www.techcoachralph.dev, where you can sign up for the Patreon and you can get whatever you need from there, right? Like just the other day, I was yesterday actually, one of my coaching members, they said, "Hey, I need some help with SQL. Do you have any time today?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, of course." And then we jumped on and helped him get through whatever it is that he was going through. Like I think it was creating tables and stuff like that, inserting into tables. So we figure it out, right? So whatever it is that you need, I'm here to help. So if you need one-on-one specialized help, go ahead and check out the Patreon and join at www.techcoachralph.dev. All right. So with that being said, we are ready to get into it. So we ask.
Please offer me your energy. I ask of you, please.
All right. So let's put our timer up. And let's get the first session going.
It's time to do.
All right. So when we left off last week, we were able to, so we're starting to refactor, right? And that's what we're going to be working on today. We got our logins working. We have, so login is working on Cypress, Playwright, and Selenium. I think it's working on Selenium. I think we had some type of, I have to double check Selenium, right? But we started refactoring, right? And what we want to do is we want to be able to use the same selectors across the projects, right? Well, across the frameworks. And then we'll have to refactor. Like we're gonna have to do some refactoring for like to implement the page object model for each of them, right? We'll figure that out. But I would like to be able to use the same selectors at least, and then go from there, right? So have never done this before, but it's a concept that I have. I'm like, oh, I think we could do this, right? So that's what we're gonna do, okay? So you guys are, I've shown it plenty of times. The Free Mind Recovery site. Go ahead and sign up if you haven't done so already. Support my friend Jared at Calculus Coder on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. And we'll go from there. But this is the site, mental health help site. All right. Like a self-help. You can read. You know how to read. You can check it out, right? But let's get into the work. So let's go over to WebStorm. All right. So here we are. So this is the code, right? It looks very, very messy. I wouldn't hire myself if I had this in my portfolio saying, "Hey, this is my automation code." I'm like, "What the hell is that? That looks like trash, like straight up trash." I'll be like, "Get out of here." If I woke up and I found myself having to read this code, I would say,
I hate it here. I want to go home.
Yep, that's what I would be saying. I hate it here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make it friendly. We're gonna make it nice. All right. I wish that we had better selectors, but sometimes in QA you don't have that, and you have to figure it out. So we figured it out, and it works. So now let's do some refactoring. So what we did was we created a helper. And all right, so this helper is what generates the unique usernames and passwords. So that's good. We don't need to do anything with that. Go ahead and close that. Where was that file that we created? We did. How did we do this last time? So we did the create user data. Oh, okay. Now I remember what happened. So we did create user data so we could generate this, but we had an issue with Selenium. So let's try to run it, right? So node Selenium. So let's run that and see what error we get. All right. What is this error? Import. So cannot use import statement outside of a module. So that's the error that we got last time. But when we did it with Playwright, it worked perfectly fine. So let's see how we can fix this. Warning: to load an ES module, set type module in package.json or use MJS extension. Well, let's try MJS extension. I don't know. Let's see if we refactor this, rename. Not familiar with that. I mean, if it was a different language, it would do it super easy, but let's see what we get here. So I think we still had the same error. So even with the MJS, doesn't help. So I'm going to change it back and we're going to see if we can load this module thingy. All right, so let me get the error one more time. And all right, so we need to load ES module, set type module in package.json. So package.json. And do we have a type module? All right, let's look it up. Let's look it up. All right, let's see. All right, so let's see what Stack Overflow says about that. See how we can adjust this. So this is a React, but might still be relevant. So first install the layer. All right, we got that. And then in your package.json, add the line type module. Third, use. Let's try that. Let's try that. So we just need in here. Let's see what this does. So now, all right, so we went ahead and we added type module, but I think we did that last time and something weird happened. Unknown file extension. All right, so let me look for something else, right? And now you can see some of my Googling skills. So let's say TypeScript load function from another file. How to call a function from another file in TypeScript. Okay, let's see that. Import. Okay, so let's try that. We're gonna try something like this. And if we go to, actually learned something like this when I was doing the full stack course, but that was a long time ago. I do not remember it that well. Okay. But when it comes time to figure it out, we figure it out. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna do here. So we're doing import. And what do we do here? Do we have a function in here? Yes. Export function. So we're gonna copy this and we're gonna say, oh wait, we do have it here. From here. So we did that already last week. So why is it not working? You need to export the function in the file. Import that from path to file. we're doing. Or let's see, import some from, all right. Export some. Let's try to modify it this way. Or maybe I wasn't doing that. Okay, so let's try this. Let's do export. And then generate unique user info. It has to be inside of this. What the? Let's see. I should do it. I should do it. Not sure why it's not. Let's see. All right. So wording to load an ES module, set type module and package JSON are used. MJS use. Let's copy the syntax error. Let's see what we got. In the when I do that, in the nearest parent package.json, add a top level type value with the nearest parent. Wonder if I can put it in that folder. Actually, let's do this. TypeScript. All right, let's try that. So I have a TS file in Node.js. All right, that's kind of like the issue we're having, right? The error means Node found an import statement in a file that it doesn't consider in adding type module will tell Node you are using ES module, but you will need to tell TypeScript compiler to emit this type of module. Oh, I see, says the blind man. In the case, all right, let's try that. Let's try that. So, always learning something. All right, so we would want to say here, so let's try this. Type module, but in the TypeScript config.json, we would want to say module, but then you'll want to tell TypeScript compiler to emit this type of module by setting module ES5. So let's see if we change that to, let's see what happens, right? The unknown file extension. So let's search for that. Let's search for that. We're gonna figure this out. We are gonna figure this out. All right. Okay, so let's go here. Search for that. Can't run my Node.js. Type error. Okay. Okay. And the answer is if you don't want to remove type module, for example, you're using import statements in your TS, which allows you, then you can use the following in your, okay, so we can use that compiler option es interlope true. Then you can start the server with the config using we'll see if we need that part, but let's go with this. And let's go over here, compiler option. So we drive that in there and let's try this again. Still same thing, eh? So what I'm reading over here. So this person's it's not possible to use ESM without type module. The described solution works because the author mentioned module com.js is in his. All right, let's try that. So let's go to, so let's try that. Let's leave this as common.js. And we have this thing in here. Okay, shouldn't be this hard, to be honest. Oh, we're still getting this. So now let's try the other thing. So we are going to try this now. npm install -gts node. And then we're going to try this. Okay, so let's go here. Let's paste that in there. Enter. All right, we got that installed. And then we're going to try ts node esm. And then we're going to do Selenium. And here, still, imagine that. All right, let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. All right. Use node dash loader or ts node dash. Isn't that what I put? Let me see. Let me take a look. Node. Oh, did I put the wrong thing? No, I copied it. Right. So let's try this one. We're gonna get this because we didn't get come this far to have ugly looking code. So let's do. We'll try all of these, right? So node dash dash loader ts dash node slash esm and then Selenium. Nope, that's not working. All right, let's try the next one. ts dash node dash dash esm dot my script. Oh, I'm typing their thing. Selenium typo ts dash node. Still, that doesn't make any sense. So let's see here. Doesn't make, in my opinion, the best answer. After years of trying to make TS node work, just use TSX, which works out of the box. npm I-D. All right, try that. All right, so what I'm looking at now, we're gonna try every one of these things, right? Until we get it to work. So npm, so install this and see what happens, all right? And this is why I do not focus on TypeScript and JavaScript. All right, so that's installed. Now we're gonna do npx tsx Selenium. Oh, we got a different error this time. So we got something. Don't know what that is, but require is not defined in ES module scope. You can use import instead.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
Well, a little better. We're gonna go to break in just a second. We're close here. So require is not defined in ES module scope. You can use import instead. How do we do that? So import. Oh, I think I know what they're talking about. Import, and would say from that. And let's try to run that one more time. See if it might end up giving an error on the next line. Require not. Tell me which line though. Let's see. Line 158. Install. Try installing this real quick. Okay. Oh, look at that. A bunch of stuff just happened. Is that a long time ago? Okay. So now let's try to run again, see what happens. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's see here. We're still so. Let's see how we can do. This is how you get a bunch of tabs opened up, right? TypeScript. Like in the past 5-10 minutes, I've opened like 10 tabs. All right, so TypeScript import. Import assert equals require. No. Let's see. Okay, so let's copy that one over. Or just type it. That's cool. We can just type it. So let's go to. Let's change this one up a little bit. Import strict as, or not script. Strict as assert from let's see if this makes any difference. Oh, let's go. How you like them apples?
Let's go! Let's go!
We got it. We got it. You know, what did I say? I told you we were gonna get it, and we got it. We got it. You know, all about winning, all about progress. And look at it go, doing its thing. We know we have that annoying alert that we gotta handle, but we'll take care of that later because the most important thing is things be working. All right, so let's go. All right, so this is done. Okay, cool. So we got that working, and now we can go to break. Okay, so hope you are enjoying. Hope you're learning, right? Because I just learned a lot. I'm gonna like. So here's what we need to start doing, right? This is what we need to start doing. We need to start bookmarking the pages that we find. Because me, I'll search for a bunch of stuff and I'll find answers, and then I'll just close the pages once I get what I need. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bookmark it. I am going to bookmark this page so that we can go back to it when we need it. Right? So let's go here. Let me bookmark that. Let me see what I want to say. New folder, web development. And we're going to say a new folder name, TypeScript. And we're going to say, give it a name that we can remember. Getting modules to work in TypeScript. Or no, this one is actually importing instead of require in TypeScript. And then so I can close that now. And then the other one was I'm going to give that a like. Well, not signed in, but when I am, I'll do it. But gonna bookmark this one as well, the one that gave us the solution. And call that one getting modules to work with TypeScript. Perfect. Cool. Okay, cool. So here we are on break. Let's see what is on our agenda. What is the first break? I think we're going to finish reading Bridget's article. So, okay. All right, cool. So yes, we are going to finish reading Bridget's article. But if you are enjoying the show so far, go ahead and do me a favor. Like the video, share the video, leave me a comment, interact with me in the chat, subscribe to the channel, of course. Hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live. And a reminder, we do have channel memberships as well. If you are interested in supporting the channel on a consistent basis, we can do that as well. And if you need one-on-one coaching with me, go ahead and join the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev. All right. So let's get back to the article by my good friend, Bridget. Okay, so let's swoop over there. All right, so we got up to here. All right, so example script. Just attended an fake account presentation about using React hooks and learned a lot. That conference hashtag. All right, so cool. So you can post that on Twitter and tag the person who did the presentation. So I'll tell you this, right? I'll tell you this. One of my favorite people in tech, like who I learned from so much. I always talk about him, Robert C. Martin, right? Get a lot of my professionalism from his book, The Clean Coder, and I'm still working through clean code, but I'm always trying to do test-driven development, and I'm listening to Clean Architecture. So put the timer up, actually, right? Okay. So, and I'm listening to Clean Architecture and stuff like that. But I remember one time, like I tweeted either a quote that he said or something, and then he either responded or like I was like, oh cool, Robert T. Martin responded to my tweet. That's so cool. I'm gonna start tweeting him a little bit more. Don't tell him I said that, but I'm gonna tweet him a little bit more because like so inspirational in the tech space for me at least, right? So and one of the people who pretty much got Agile started, right? So yeah. All right. So you can use the same approach as contacting someone from a stream or a podcast, holla at your boy. All right. You can also meet people who work for companies that you're interested in working at. This strategy takes a bit more legwork. First of all, you want to research the companies. What do you think about it? What do you want to know about working there? Next, you want to find out people who work there. Sometimes the companies will have a meet the team page that has everyone who works there and how to connect with them. You can also find the company on LinkedIn and look under the people tab. Yep. I do that. Finally, take a deep breath. Contacting people who could potentially be your future boss or coworkers can be intimidating. Shoot your shot, right? So the same way you be shooting your shot in people's DMs on Instagram and on whatever other platform, shoot your shot at getting something promising, a job, right? And growing from there, connect with people who are going in the direction that you would like to go in, right? That's pretty much what Bridget is saying here, okay? After all, you aren't asking for a job through their DMs. You are asking for information. That's a fact, right? So this one says, example script. Good morning, Andy. I'm a new software engineer and I am going to be looking for a new job soon. I've heard some good things about amazing tech, and I was wondering if you have 15 to 20 minutes next week that you could tell me more about working there, right? And this is a good script, right? I would probably modify it a bit, right? And like Richard said, right, you got to play the long game. So this is what I would probably say, right? The same script, right? So I'd probably go something like this, right? Good morning, Andy. I see that you're a software engineer or a lead software engineer at XYZ company, right? And I've seen that you've been there since we're in 2024. I've seen that you've been there since 2017. That's a pretty that's quite longevity there. I would love to learn from an expert as a new software engineer, and I would hope you'd have some time to connect with me to give me some insight on navigating in the tech space, right? In software engineering. Looking forward to hearing from you soon, right? And then guess what? Like, drop your email address, drop your phone number in there, right? And guess what? What's the worst that can happen? What is the worst that can happen? Well, and he could report you to the police. Nah, I'm kidding. The worst that can happen is Andy totally ghosts you. And guess what? What did you lose, right? Or he can respond back to you and says, why are you writing me? Leave me alone, right? But so what? Who cares, right? You get like one rejection from Andy trying to help you level up in your career is nothing compared to the amount of rejections you get on dating sites, right? And I'm pretty sure, right? Because on those dating sites, 1 out of 100 will respond to you. But if you're trying to level up your career and you are reaching out to the experts, right? 99 out of 100 of them are going to respond to you because you're telling them how you want to learn from them and how you value them, right? And do some research and like if they have a GitHub, go look at their GitHub and say, oh yeah, I was looking through your GitHub and I saw you did this and that, and I really like. I never thought about this, and I really like how you put that code. I would love for you to tell me more about it, right? So keep that in mind, all right? So what about the long game social media strategy? How does that work? First, follow people from conferences, tech Twitter, or different companies. Next, interact with them. Like their posts, leave a comment, retweet posts that you find interesting or informative. This is similar to marketing. You want to have top of mind awareness. Make yourself known as a real person who is getting into tech and that you are looking for advice. Hopping straight into someone's DMs to ask for a job is not going to get you very far. After you build a rapport, then ask for a coffee
Get a move on,
chat.
back to work, chop chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
And I love this advice. This is great advice. Like Bridget is on point here. Bridget is on point. So and you are, put a lack of a better word, you're tech stalking them, right? But in a good way, because you are supporting them. You are showing that you find their stuff interesting. So, and I would say as well, right? Don't approach it in the mindset of you're trying to get something out of it. You're like, because if you're trying to get something out of it, like if you're trying to if you're trying to really learn and level up from a person, then you should pay them for their time. But if you're like, I would say you have to be genuinely interested, right, for it to work, right? And care about what they're doing, what they're working on, and stuff like that, and see like that you can actually learn and offer insight and etc. And then it'll like building that true connection, which is something that I was talking to Bridget about. Like building that true connection is really what's going to take you to the next level. All right, so let's read the example script that Bridget wrote. Hello, Chris. I have been following you on Twitter for quite some time now, and you always have great content. You know what? Let's change that. Right. Hello, Tech Coach Ralph. I've been following you on Twitter for quite some time now, and you always have great content. I'm a new software engineer transitioning my career from marketing. I was wondering if you have 15 to 20 minutes in the next couple of weeks, if you could help me, if you could tell me more about how you started working at Amazing Tech and your experiences there. All right. Great stuff. All right. Messaging tips. Now that you are ready to start reaching out to strangers, aka networking, here are some general tips for sending messages. Keep it short and sweet. Yeah, we don't want to read a whole book. People are busy. And if you are sending long-winded messages with multiple paragraphs, they probably aren't going to get read fully or even at all. Trust me. If you're sending me a book, I'm not reading it. I'm just like, all right, cool, great. I'm not reading it. Get to the point. Don't beat around the bush. If you want to schedule a coffee chat, ask for it. Don't waste people's time with fluffy messages wondering if you can ask them a question. Yep, like don't, give them a compliment and say, "Hey, I want to know this," right? But you can't be like a leech though, like, and especially like what I say is you need to reach out to multiple people, and it's gonna sound weird, but have a rotation, right? Have a rotation. Like reach out to this person and get some info, and meet with different people, and that way, what you learn from this one person. You can use that in conversation with another person to show that you're learning and you're leveling up and stuff like that, right? But yeah, like don't be too fluffy. Like I say, start with a compliment and then ask your question. Short, concise, sweet, right? Be honest. Tell people why you want to connect. If you're new to tech, tell them you're new and that's why you want to get to know people. I agree. No need to pretend like you're an industry expert if you don't know very many people in the industry. Yeah, and guess what? Even if you act like an industry expert and you're not, we're gonna we're like it's easy to see who doesn't know what they're talking about, and we're just going to like write you off, ignore you, and stuff like that, right? So be honest. Say like, and many people who reach out to me, I'm trying to get into tech, or I'm looking for a job in QA. I'm new, and I'm like, okay, great. Like, and I answer everybody's questions. Like I don't think I've ever gotten a message or an email that I haven't responded to. I go a little bit more in depth. I mean, I go a lot more in depth with my Patreon members, but anyone who reaches out, I'm more than happy to answer, All right. So then don't be creepy. Don't be creepy. That is just weird. Do not comment on anyone's looks. Tell them that they are sexy, or message them for anything that is not professional. All right. Like, I mean, come on. Like, let's be real. Okay. No matter how nice they look, don't Don't say anything. Like just talk about their experience, their expertise. All right. So let's move on. Don't spam people. Give people time to respond. If they don't respond in a couple of weeks, you can send a follow up. But if you are a nuisance, you aren't going to get a connection. Yeah, don't bother me. Right? Don't stalk me. Don't bother me. If I don't respond, send me a message like maybe 2-3 weeks later. And if I still don't respond, then I just don't want to talk to you. Right? So that's what it is. Right? But that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. Right? In the upcoming parts of this guide, we will cover insecurities and anxieties, in-person events, what to talk about, and how to keep good connections. I want to help people get over their fear of networking, meet wonderful people, and eventually find jobs. What is the hardest part about reaching out to strangers for you? Feel free to contact me with any questions you have about networking or if any of these tips helped you out, right? This is an awesome article by my good friend and tech barbarian Bridget. I am going to drop this link in the chat one more time. And then next Thursday night, keep me honest, remind me, we're going to read part 2, Getting Up the Nerve. So we're going to do it. All right. So let me drop this link in the chat one more time by my good friend Bridget. And we shall go from there. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Here we go. Let's go back to full screen. All right. And we are going to throw up another 20 minutes on the clock. And now we're going to transition to, what is that acting weird? We're going to transition to Cypress. All right. So let's do this.
Let's go! Let's go!
So let's see what these errors are that we have over here. Okay, so that thing that we did. Let's see. Assert alert. This comparison appears to be unintentional because type alerts and string have no relationship. Alert dot. We're switching to, all right, so let's look at this real quick. Right? We're switching to the alert. And we want to, let me comment this out for just a second. So alert.accept is probably failing there. Let's say, so this should have been alert text. And I don't remember what the alert text was. Let's see if we can get it over here. I don't have, so anyway, we might have to run it 2 more times just to, want to add that alert text in there, but we'll run it 2 more times if we have to. Getting Calculus Coder a bunch of signups on his application. Sorry. That's why though you should have a dev environment so that we can run tests on the dev environment and we don't have to run a bunch of tests, especially creating new user data on which is flooding your database. You know. So let's take this, copy that. Over here. Oh. And let's go to, there's no such alert. Why is that? Let's see. Text. So now because we imported the Selenium types, we get all the help in the world that we need. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And let's go with. I don't think I'd recommend Playwright for. I mean, not Playwright. Selenium with JavaScript. I'd probably would go with Cypress or Playwright, if possible. Alert. Wait. I don't know why. Maybe waiting for register page. Timeout. Let me run it. No. Let me see something. Let's Google this real quick, right? TypeScript. So no such alert. Let's see. Switch to alert accept. It's very inconsistent. Sometimes the test passes, sometimes it gives me errors. The document solution doesn't work. However, this works. We could try this. Let's try to copy this over. See what this does. Let's drop that in here. So this is saying that then catch isn't there. Disable that. Let's disable this one as well. Disable that. Disable that. I don't know what the. The position of then catch is crucial. Thing is, I don't even know what line it's failing at. All right. Let's see. See, I was doing that though. So let's look over here. I don't know why I don't have a then catch. Let's see. If code. Just adding weights. I don't like that. Can't fit anything else. This looks like Java code right here. Yeah, that's Java. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one. We can always figure that out a little later. But what would have been? It is nice to get this one working. We can just run this code, see what happens. But if that doesn't work, I'm not gonna harp on it. We can go back and fix that later. We want to switch over to Cypress. Let's see what we can do there. If it's gonna work. I'm not sure if it's gonna work in Cypress. All right. It's gonna log in. Taking its sweet time. All right, there we go. Oh, it actually I saw it happen. It tried to do it way before. I'm gonna undo this, but I think I saw something. Anyways, so let's just go back to what we had. I'll leave that like that for now. We shall see. All right, cool. We'll leave that for now. Let's go over to Cypress, right? Let me close some of these browsers out. Okay, so now let's look over to Cypress. All right. What is this? npm open Cypress. Let's see if we remember this. Oop. Is it npx open Cypress? Oh, or is it npm Cypress open? No, not that either. npx. There we go. All right, cool. So Cypress was open. Okay. All right. So this is the error that we're getting now. We're trying to open Cypress. Your config file is invalid. Cypress.config.ts threw an error. Exports is not defined in ES module scope. So similar to the other one. So let's open up the Cypress config file. And is that the file they said? Cypress config.ts. Yep, that one. It said exports is not defined in ES module scope. Did I do something? I don't know why it's maybe it's the package.json. So let's look this up, right? You know, this is part of it. We are having some fun here. Let's pull this up. And we are gonna go over to here. TypeScript reference error, exports not defined, and we're gonna say Cypress. All right, not this one that we need, but all right. I would expect Cypress to work out of the box with TypeScript and ESM. The following ts config. The following. However, that setup, Cypress currently fails. Desired behavior. What's it talking? All right. 2022. Okay. I get this during install with the created config. Can you share minimal reproduction? Usually type module config with defaults in TS config. Can't share a reproduction, but I'm having issues. If type is set in the package.json. All right. I confirm removing type or converting Cypress to Cypress. Oh, okay. You could always go do that, I guess. I don't want to do that because we're creating our stuff in TypeScript. All right. If you use JS extension with type module, it will use Node.js instead of and default ESM loaders. To clarify, type module means I'm using ES module. Okay. Test config and compiling with common code good, which is giving you the error and counting. Yeah, I think we are. So if we look at common, yeah, I think that's what's happening. But I mean that's part of the problem. Like what I'm trying to do something crazy, right? Uh let's see. We can find another solution. Reference exports not defined. What? All right. If CommonJS isn't installed, which defines exports, you have to remove this line from your TS config. Hmm. Remove type module from package JSON. Compiler options module ES6. Or this is annoying. Like, yeah, to do all these little trickery. Let's see. Not seeing an answer I like yet. So let's see if we were to say, we can try this. Let's see what happens, right? Stop this. Open it again. Yeah, it's still happening. So let's see what this error said. Experiment order may be removed in the future. Data. Let's see. Maybe remove in the future instead use register. Import register. What are they talking about? Let's see if we can. Okay. And I see you in the chat, John. I am going to address it as soon as we go to break. All right. So just give me a second. Let's see. Do that. If we do, what was the other one we had earlier? Let's see, Cypress. Let's look here. Export not defined and scope. See, Cypress not even on this page, so I'm not sure why that one's coming up. Let's do must include Cypress.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
All right, gonna go to break in just a second, but would like to see why this is doing this. Let's see what this one says. According to an article, ES6 import and export features are designed to function only in browsers with the however, after upgrading, an error occurred. Not doing anything with Cypress. The first article looks more closely related. I expect this for work. Yeah, me too. We're getting this. I got this during installation of Cypress with the created config. Usually type conflicting defaults in. Package.json. What do I have in my package? So I have type.module. So can't share a reproduction, but I'm having if type.module is in there, which is what we have, removing type.module or converting solves the issue. But if we do that, then we lose the TypeScript. Add this line. So let's see what happens. We have this a little bit of regression. If we go to that, see what this does. Let's see if that makes any difference. If not, we're gonna go to break and okay, so that works. However, does our other stuff still work? So if we do, what did we do? Oh crap! What did we do last time? All right, let's stop this. Because we need to be able to. Oh, actually, we can probably scroll up and see it. So how do we start Selenium last time? It was npx. Let's try it. Let's see if we broke Selenium now. Oh, still works. Cool. So we still got Selenium working. We still have now we have Cypress working. So now we can go to break in peace, right? Making progress. All right, cool. So what we're gonna do, let me check what's on our agenda. I'm going to get to Sean in the chat, and then we will see where else we have. So second break. Okay, so we want to talk about all right, so I know, okay, we're gonna go to GitHub and we're going to so in third break, we'll talk about Flutter. Okay, so let me check out the chat. And let's put up for 5 minutes, and then we'll talk about the other thing. All right, so I have my buddy, my pal, Sean in the chat. Welcome to the show, Sean. You know, as always.
I appreciate you.
Yes, I do. All right, cool. So what does Sean say? Sean says, hey, coach, have you tried GitHub Copilot? Is it anything useful for coding? I personally have not tried GitHub Copilot. I think some of my coworkers might use it and stuff like that. I haven't tried it. I'm not too familiar with it. So I can't really give you too much insight on that. But I would say try it, you know. I'd say definitely try it. I mean, we can look it up real quick. But and he says assisting with your coding, I mean. Yeah. I still do like a lot of my own research, like you saw me researching on how to figure this stuff out. For me at least, I feel that if I was to rely on like Chat GPT or those type of AI tools to figure out the code for me, I lose some of my investigative skills and stuff like that. So that's why like I will use AI and stuff like that for certain things, like if I need to, like writing stories and coming up with scripts and emails and stuff like that. But when it comes to the core of the things that I do, like coding and figuring things out and stuff like that, then I don't know. I don't really use the AI for that because I want to be able to keep that edge and looking for stuff. So that's why like, I never really looked into that. So then, and Sean also says, and also problem solving skills too, in a way. Yeah, like that's one of the reasons that I don't look too much into those type of things because I want to be able to solve the problem myself, and it keeps my mind fresh and stuff like that, you know. But I definitely use AI for a lot of other stuff, and I recommend people use AI and stuff like that, you know, for depending on what the thing is, because like I was talking to Socks a few months ago, your AI query is only as good as what you know what to put in. So like for instance, me, I can probably query AI for something very, very like to get exactly what I want out of it. But some other people like they might like what's QA or how do I test this versus like I can go and get something very, very like specific, you know. And then Sean says I'm kind of worried about AI in the future. I'm not worried about it, you know. This is like in terms of doing everything for people will stop thinking, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, yeah. But are you worried for them? Because like I don't really care what they do, but I know for myself, I'm not too worried about it. Because like people like you and I, Sean, we always have to be on the cutting edge of technology, looking for opportunities, looking to learn. Like, don't be like those people who they were doing manual testing 30 years ago and they're still preaching, oh, manual testing, and they don't want to grow. Like, it's like the people who don't want to, who still wants to ride in buggies and carriages and stuff like that, right? So we gotta continue evolving with the times if we want to stay relevant. All right. Awesome questions, as Sean always with the fire questions. All right, so what I wanted to also talk about, so we talked about this last week on Q&A, I believe, right? Where someone had this really cool idea on Reddit, who were saying like something about open bug, like a place like, the hashtag open bugs, right? And you can like report a bug on social media and put hashtag open bug and stuff like that. So, and I was like, you know what, we should have like a GitHub repo for that. And I forgot about it, but then I was like going through Reddit. I'm like, oh yeah, I never responded to this person. So, with that being said, what I went ahead and took the liberty to do was I created the open bugs repo, right? So let's take a quick look at it over here. And Sean, speaking of the devil, set up GitHub Copilot. Use GitHub's AI pair
Get a move
programming.
on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
And honestly, I need to like I should definitely look into it to see, like, because pair programming is good. Like, you have developers come together and stuff like that. But I just need to, I haven't like really focused on it. So maybe we can do some type of exploration into it to see what it is, how to use it. Maybe I don't know. I'll figure. Maybe I'll do a video about it, or maybe we'll do it on live. Who knows, right? But here's the repo for open bugs, right? Where you can just go ahead and like put your bugs, and then you can put a link to your bug, and you can use that to show off like your documentation skills, like your investigative skills, stuff like that. So I just created it today. I have to create a README file with the description and stuff like that. That I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use ChatGPT to generate that README file for me, because ChatGPT does a pretty good job at README files, right? So I'm gonna do that, and I was talking to the person I was chatting with the person who had the idea in the first place on Reddit, and they went ahead and they created one, right? So I mean, hopefully it's all kosher in there, but let's check it out, right? So save as context menu item and Control S shortcut are disabled for a PDF document rendered as a blob in Chrome's built-in viewer, while viewer's download button is enabled and works to save the displayed document. However, when such document is embedded in an iframe within another web page, the save as option is enabled. And this is an environment Windows 11, Chrome version 121. Install extensions, Google Docs offline, Google Input Tools. So already, this is a very, very nicely written like defect, right? Nicely written bug. Very cool, I must say, right? Steps to reproduce. Open a PDF blob directly into the browser, yada yada yada. Right click, and then, screenshots and everything. Look at that. Very cool. Oh, look at that. Look at that. This is pretty cool. This was, you know what? This was actually a good idea. Because then we get exposure, like this gives you exposure to how other people report bugs and things like that, and then you can learn and share and stuff like that. I'm actually happy I created this, because looking at this bug report, very, very cool. Very, very cool. Let's see, related documentation. Totally not sure if this is a bug, but I don't see any logical explanation for the behavior. Should probably log it directly to Chromium projects and see what they say. I agree, and this is awesome, right? I'm gonna give this a rocket, right? Because this is awesome, and I'm gonna give this one a cheer. I love it. This is pretty cool, I must say. And then what I'll do is I will come up with labels or something like that. I wonder if we can do that. I'm gonna look to see what else we can do, right? Because I think this is pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Very cool idea. Must say. And then you can link to these bugs and stuff like that, and have that as part of your portfolio as well, right? Very cool. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Right. So just wanted to share that with you all. And let's get back to work. All right. So full screen. Let's throw up another. This is going to be our last 20-minute segment of the night. All right. And then we're going to call it a night, right? And I still have to talk about Flutter, right? But before we go on, if you are having a good time here with me tonight, do me a favor, like the video, share the video, interact with me in the chat, leave me a comment, all that good stuff. And you know what? I'm gonna try to stream back on LinkedIn again, right? We'll see how that goes. Not 100% sure, or we'll see what we can do, right? But all that good stuff, like the video, all that, right? And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev so you can get the extra help that you need so you can level up, right? You say you want to get better, but you don't want to invest in yourself. Can't help you with that, all right? I can't help you with that, all right? So let's get back to it. Let's do our last 20-minute segment of the night on this wonderful, beautiful night of software exploration, having tons of fun, messing with automation tools. All right, let's go.
It's time to do.
I think what I'm gonna do, right? Because I like streaming directly to YouTube, but I might use other tools to be able to stream to other platforms. I don't know. We'll find out, right? So we'll find out. All right. So we have. Let's run Playwright, right? Let's make sure Playwright is still working. So let's go over to here, and we're gonna do what is it? npx Playwright, and then what is the thing for Playwright? We do Playwright test. And then register. And let's do project Firefox. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember these commands. Unknown command Playwright. Maybe we don't need this. Unknown command Playwright. I don't remember the commands for Playwright. Let me look it up real quick. Let me look up the Playwright commands. I always forget, like, because I don't use this. I barely use Playwright. I use Playwright once a week. I use Cypress once a week when I come here with you guys, right? Playwright.dev. Let me see, how do I kick it off? Run example test. npx Playwright test. Okay, so my bad. Playwright test. And I want to specify a particular test. It's running and debugging tests. And we're going to do, because I don't want to run everything, UI, headed mode, project. Okay, so that's how we do it. So test, and then Playwright, test, and then register. And then we're going to do project. I guess we do WebKit. And then I don't care about headed mode. Let's do that. Oops. Okay, there we go. So this is running. Let's make sure we don't get any crazy TypeScript errors. Oh, it's gonna work, because once I see the username pop up, I know it's gonna work. Right? And you see how we were able to do these usernames in like always unique, so they're always gonna get created. This is how, like, I've been creating unique usernames for the past 10, 15 years now, is using because the time, the date time in seconds is always going to be unique, right? There will never be this time again. So that's why we do it that way. All right, so this failed. So we do. All right, let's go take a look at that. And why did it fail? Not that we really care. Register attachments. All right. I mean, not gonna harp on non-testable site. So, but we know Playwright is still working. Cypress is working. Selenium is working. So we are good to go. Shout out to that. I love it.
Let's get it.
All right. So now let's take a look at, let's see if we can incorporate this into Cypress, right? So let's go over here and let's start closing some stuff out. So let's leave this open. And let me make sure that Playwright is actually using, where's Playwright? So now that we got all this working, we're in a good spot for when we come in next week that we can just start automating. So this is using generate. All right, so let's copy this line right here. And let's go to, ooh, what's this? Can't find at Playwright test. Did you mean to set module resolution option node next or add? I don't know. All right, do nothing. All right, anyways, whatever. Let's close that. So this is working. We'll figure out these. So this is TypeScript stuff. I'll figure out. But let's go ahead and open Cypress end-to-end, register. And we want to get rid of this code right here. So let's do an import. And cannot find module dot yes. All right. So, oh, this is like a couple of levels deep. All right. So let's go dot slash. Cool. There we go. And now we just want to say, how do we do it over here? So we said, let's take it from Selenium. We did, where is it? Sign in. All right, so we just did, let's take that right there. Let's just copy that to this one. And let's just drop that right there, right? And now we can just say, let's get rid of all this stuff right here. Unique username. Unique username. And unique email. Boom. All right. So now let's go and check out Cypress. Let's go open to end-to-end test. start end test. Make sure this works. All right. So let's look over here. And let's click on this right here. See what happens. Let's see if it creates our unique username. So right now, what we have going on is we have, oh, look at that. Look at that. Who is the man? Like, all right, I'm going to say this, right? And I'm going to say this. There is absolutely. And I'm saying this because I was telling my jiu-jitsu people this yesterday, right? I am the most humble person that I know. So I say this with great humility, right? There is no QA engineer that can compare to yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph.
We the best.
So, see how we got all of that to go through? Right? So we're using one function. We're importing it into Selenium, Playwright, and Cypress. Right? One function, 3 different repos that are totally different. They do the same thing, but they're totally different. And our function is importing into all of them. And we are able to use that same function across them all, right? That's awesome. That is awesome. Right? I mean, the errors that are showing up, not that big of a deal, like timeout and stuff like that. Whatever. I mean, if this was if I was in automation, like for like work, I would require my engineers and my front end devs or my back end devs or whatever to make this testable code, right? Like where I can get some IDs or test data, like attributes, so that I can do it that way, right? But like it's no big deal, right? The key thing is that we have this working in 3 different languages, or 3 different. We're using right now. We're using one function. So now if we need to change something in how we create the email addresses, right? All we have to do, so you know what? We're going to do this, right? I'm going to show you this. We're going to go in here, right? You're going to appreciate this. I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to say TCR. I'm going to change that to the great TCR, right? The great TCR. And we're going to take that and we can say cool. So now it's going to be the great TCR underscore date and time. So now we're going to run this in. All right, it's already running over in Cypress, right? So let's see. We made that change in one file, right? And let's see. Should be running. Let's see. All right. Look at that. The great TCR. Shout out to the great TCR. I should change my name to that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And then it's going to log in. Look at that. The great TCR. How you like them apples, right? And then we're going to swoop back over to Playwright. And probably won't see it in Playwright, but let's do it in Selenium first. We can see Selenium, right? So didn't make any changes. Didn't make any changes, right? The great TCR right there. right? You're gonna see. It's gonna click sign in. You're gonna see like all I did was change one little like 10 characters, right? And now in all three of the tools, it's using that same function. So we don't have to go into like a bunch of different files, right? In a bunch of different code bases or code paths to be able to change that, right? That is absolutely amazing, if I must say so myself. Look at that. Look at that. The email gets updated and all that, right? This part is going to fail. No big deal. But awesome. Let's click OK. And let's go back over here. And then we're going to do the one for Playwright. We see that happen too, right? Look at that. One code. Look at that. The great TCR right there. One code base. Distributed across 3 different tools. So you can pick your poison. So like if some people are more comfortable, I mean I wouldn't recommend this, but like I say, you're more like you have 3 people on the team, right? One of them wants to do Cypress, one of them wants to do Selenium, one of them wants to do Playwright. It's possible. I definitely wouldn't recommend it, but as you can see, like I have it here, right? And you can have different reasons for doing different things, right? So for instance, you can say, okay, these type of tests will run better in Cypress. These type of tests will run better in Playwright. These type of tests will run better in Selenium, and you can do it that way, right? You're not like, as you can see here, we're not limited to like only one repo, So, I come on. And then based on what we did in this concepts and overviews, you might want to use like Cypress or Playwright for doing some API testing, and then use Selenium for other stuff. Who knows, right? The possibilities are endless. All right, cool. Enough fun. All right, so now the next thing that we're going to want to do, which we'll carry on into next week, is the actual refactoring with the page object model and stuff like that, right? So, and we have a few minutes, so let's get started real quick, right? So we can close this config file, we can close the package file, we can close the TS file because we have everything working. And you know what you could also do, right? You can create a script where it launches all of them for you. So like it can launch your Playwright test, your Selenium, your Cypress test, and your Selenium test all together, and then the reports would go to their respective spots, So really cool stuff. All right, so what is the we don't need to create user data anymore because that works as well. That's just generating data. Let's say we wanted to. So what we can do, we can start writing some to-dos, right? So let's do some to-dos, and then we can actually do those to-dos next week. Okay, so we can say this is the register. All right, so let's see what functions we're going to create, right? Let's do. All right, so let's do some to-dos, right? I'm going to drop it in the Selenium one, right? So we're going to say to-do create shareable file module for selectors. Are they going to be but that will be consumed by respective page objects for each framework, right? I think that's a fair goal. And then we want to do. So we definitely want to do convert these weights to WebDriver weights and a method we can call for I'm gonna call them actions. They're not. Well, I guess they are actions, right? So that's gonna be right now we're making our plans for the next coming weeks, right? Gonna convert these into a method, and we're going to externalize all of these. So like this can be reused across Selenium and Playwright. XPath, I mean Cypress. I don't think we have XPath in there, but we'll find out some more. And then we want to say, so create methods, method to log in for respective framework. Actually, might be a little complex to do. I don't know. I was like, oh, we can have like, I wouldn't want to do that. It's okay. We're gonna have a framework, a little framework for each of them, right? Keep them separate, but we're gonna be sharing the same selectors and stuff like that. Let's see here. We've got, all right, so then we got that. And then we're gonna say, we're gonna do the same thing for all of them too. Like these, like I'm writing these instructions in the Selenium file, but it's gonna be applicable to all the frameworks because we want to simplify the way that we do things, right? To do, all right, so make a function / method. I think I call them functions in JavaScript and method in Java, but whatever. Make a function method to do
Lunch break. Lunch break.
parameters to registration. And then I'm going to copy that. And we're going to do the same thing for logging in. Oops. All right, for logging in. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a method for this. Create the page objects for that. And let's see. Yeah, simplify all this stuff, right? So that's the plan. That is the plan going forward. So this is gonna be a method. So it's gonna be like super clean, right? So the code is gonna end up reading like gonna be like, you see how we have like the test spec for register has 63 lines in there. It's gonna end up being about, let's see. So let's keep this. Keep this for now. It's gonna end up being about one. Two, three. It's gonna be about being like 10 lines. We're gonna reduce our code from about 63 lines to about 20-ish lines, and it's gonna be super easy to read, super clean, very communicative, very informative. So, and that's what we're gonna do for all of them. So let's open up our big three, right? So we have 3 registers, and they're all doing the same thing, but we're gonna reduce this code dramatically so it can be super useful. All right. And I don't. This is bothering me. Let me see if I can find this. This is a quick Google search. I don't want to leave it off like this. I hate seeing stuff in red. Oops. Second. Come on. So cannot find. Let's take a look at that one real quick, see if we can fix that. Let's see. How do we fix that? Try that real quick. See if that fixes anything. Let's try to do that real quick. All right. Maybe it's not necessary, but gosh. Let's see. Hopefully, we don't lose our test. Okay. Just re-downloading it. And then I still have to talk to you guys about Flutter, about my experience with Flutter, right? So we're going to get into that soon as this is done. And just want to see that error message go away, you know? All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. I have to download every single thing. Let's see. Almost there. Almost there. Like a dependency thing. Oh my goodness. That's annoying. I did not know that was going to happen. But that should fix the error, according to what they're saying on GitHub for Playwright. So let's see if that's the case. Because I think you have to install like Playwright latest to fix that issue. But I don't think we saw this issue the other day, right? So I don't know. I don't know, but we're almost there. Just less than 20% away. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Playwright config already exists. No, let's not override that. No, let's not overwrite that. All right, cool. Let's see. Did that fix anything in here? No. If we were, let's try one more thing and then we're going to wrap that up. Yeah. I think for now. It's going to suppress it for now because it's not causing any issues. All right, cool. All right, cool. So that is it for our work for tonight. I think we did good. We have a plan for next week going forward. I had tons and tons of fun, right? Tons and tons of fun. So I think we figured out a lot. And we never miss, we never lose, even if we don't have it right away. Like David Goggins said, we're gonna come back again, come back again, come back again until we say, "I got it," right? So let's wrap up with this, right? So Flutter, right? So like I said, we are working on Flutter in the morning, right? And I can take this off. All right, let's get rid of that. So working on Flutter in the morning, right? And but I'm also like working on it like throughout the day on my own. And it's amazing that I get so caught up in like trying to figure this stuff out. And like so I was taking I mean I am going through a Udemy course to try to figure it out. But um but I always end up veering off on my own and figuring things out and learning a lot more. I would say this, right? And also I'll touch more on this tomorrow, but and I'll also show where I'm at with the app that I use to. So I'm converting the time cost calculator into a mobile app, and I can see it working on iOS, or at least on the iOS emulator. I will show that tomorrow morning, of what I've done so far, and getting it to do what it's supposed to do. Right, I'm gonna keep working on it as soon as I get off of here. But I would say this, right? Here's some advice that I'll share early, also like tomorrow. So like doing the Dart formula logic, is just like doing that in a test driven manner, not a problem at all, because um, it wasn't hard to pick up on the Dart code for that part of it, for like the logic layer, for the business layer. But figuring out how to do test driven development, on a language that you're not familiar with, it's probably not the best idea to start like that, right? You probably like, so what I decided to do was I said, all right, I'm going to put the keto app on hold, just for a little bit, because I want to do it using TDD. And with Flutter, you gotta like, it's like material app and like figuring out how to do the code first. So I said, okay, I already have the web application for the time cost calculator. So let me build out the mobile app with it, using like the course, the Udemy course that I'm following along. So like I'm not really following along what they're doing, because that stuff is like kind of basic, kind of easy. I'm like, I can build out my app following along, but trying to figure out how to test it, which I'm starting to pick up on how to test certain things. Like it's like more of a UI kind of unit test. They call them widget test. But I like I would recommend trying to learn how to do test driven development on a language that you have no idea, like you're learning the language. To try to incorporate test driven development on that is going to be like almost impossible. So that's why I'm like, all right, let me just figure out how to use Flutter's material app and layout and stuff like that. And then when I go back to the keto app, then I can actually do it in a test driven way, and we'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow morning. But that's the idea. Coffee and kata tomorrow morning. We're going to dive more into Flutter. Look forward to seeing you there. All right. So I'm gonna wrap up. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you had a great time. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, like the video, share the video with everyone, right? And like I said, I'm gonna try to, I don't know, maybe try to go back into Facebook and streaming to Facebook and LinkedIn. Hopefully that goes well. We'll figure it out. All right, we shall figure it out. But that's it, right? That's it for tonight. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live. Like the video, share the video, all that good stuff. If you want to be a channel member, go ahead and click the join button. Give me additional support. And I'm still coming up with new and cool things as well. Always strategizing, always developing. All right. And if you need some one-on-one additional help, additional content to help you level up in your technical career, do me a favor, go check out www.techcoachralph.dev, where we can win and level up together, like I'm doing with Bridget, right? amazing, amazing person. And that networking article just pure. You know what? I'm going to drop that networking article one more time in the chat because I love it. And I can't wait for next week for us to get into part 2 of her amazing series on networking. All right. So with that being said, I just have one question for you. What is that question? The question is,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
is this not why you're here? No, you're not only here to be entertained. You are also here to level up and to learn. And when you level up and you learn, there's only one thing that can happen. Just one. There's only one thing when you continue to grow and level up and win, only one thing that can happen. And what is that? What's going to happen when you enhance your skills, get better at everything that you do? You are going to have, you can just honestly, joyously say,
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
and that's a fact.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Hear me, warriors of the North. Today we have tasted the sweet nectar of victory. Our foes indeed defeated, and their lands are now bowed before us. The gods themselves have favored our glorious deeds on this glorious day. We have shed blood, sweat, and tears to claim this land. Our relentless spirit, our unyielding determination. These are the very essence of our people. The spirit of our ancestors rejoice in the halls of Valhalla. For today, we have added to their eternal glory. Our victories will echo throughout the ages, and our names will be etched in the annals of history. But let us not forget the present pain, the brothers and sisters we lost. They now feast in the hall of our forefathers, watching over us with pride. Their sacrifice has paved the way for this moment of triumph. As we celebrate this conquest, let us also remember that our journey is far from over. More land awaits our conquest, more battles call us forth, and the fire in our hearts burn ever brighter, for there is no limit to what we can achieve. To those who dare stand against us, let them tremble in fear, for they shall witness the fury of the northern storm, the wrath of the untamed barbarians. Today we celebrate our victory. Tomorrow we set our sights on new horizons, a charted land where our banners will fly high. We are Vikings, we're barbarians, we are masters of conquest.